What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Nick with Leverage Media, and today I want to talk to you about the 3 factors that Google itself says that chiropractors need in order to rank #1 in their local map pack. So the map pack obviously is when somebody's searching for a chiropractor, you've got the Google ads and then you've got the map section. That map pack has one Google ad product where someone can have their Google business profile listed in there, and then they have 3 organic ones. What Google says that the 3 how it's decided which of the 3 organic is going to show up is based around 3 different things. So it's going to be based around relevance, proximity, and prominence. So when we talk about relevance, it means if someone is searching for something, it doesn't just have to be chiropractic, it could be for, a condition like, say, low back pain treatment or spinal decompression or chiropractor. But if they put near me or Springfield, Illinois, or whatever your city state is, if they put those at the end of it, that is going to be what's called local search intent, and Google is going to show a map pack for those people. Anytime they're looking for any type of service or solution to a problem with either near me or city state on the end of it, that is going to be where Google starts to show those map packs. So relevance is going to be around, do you have any pages on your website that are relevant to the searcher? So what is that search intent? What are the keywords that they're looking for? And does your website contain those? Now, when they're looking for a chiropractor, they're going to be mainly looking for who has the best homepage and who is are all of these relevant. If everybody has, if everybody's kind of like met the bar there, they tend to move on to the next ones. But when we're talking about more obscure things, or we're talking about conditions or types of patients, that's where, the pages on your website really matter. And the more that you've put into those and the more that you've customized those to the way that you explain things, the better you're going to do in the map pack. The second one is going to be proximity. So how close is the person to your office? Now, obviously, you can't control where the people search from. So you really want to make sure that you are just optimized as much as you can, and so that you can dominate that area close around your practice. Now, in more rural areas or smaller towns, that radius may be a little bit further out, but in densely populated areas, in cities, you're gonna be pretty close to your practice are going to be the people that you show up for. Once you get outside of that circle that Google has determined, it's going to be tough for you to rank. What is really important is that because because when people are outside of that radius that Google wants to show in terms of the proximity, this is where Google ads are really powerful, because you can create your own radius around your practice where you can show up in the map pack in that paid ad product and not be so dependent on whether Google is going to show you or not. So Google used to really allow whoever was the best optimized listing, who had the best website, they would really dominate almost the entire city search. But in probably November or December of 2021, they made a shift. They actually called it the proximity update. They made a shift where how close you were was really ramped up in their algorithm. So there's lots of different factors that they use on who's going to rank #1 or 2 or 3 in the map pack. And they've really dialed up how close people were, and they've really dialed down how many keywords were in the name itself. So it used to be that if you just made sure that the city name and the keyword that you wanted to show up for was in the title of the Google business profile, that you would be very likely to show up when people did that search. They dialed that way down, and they dialed up how close people were. What happened was, because we are healthcare, we can not only have listings for our business name, but we can also have listings for the doctors that work in the business. So what was happening is they were showing people that were literally 0.1 miles away, in my town at least, in a town where normally I would have like a 5-mile radius around my practice that I would be showing up for when people were searching for the keywords that I wanted to show up for. When they did this proximity update, it was down to like 0.1. In cities, it might have been even closer. But what it was doing, it was not only just showing the business listings, it was also showing the provider listings. So there would be listings that like didn't have a website link to it. They only had, they had 0, maybe less than 5 reviews. There were just, it was literally only taken into account, especially when somebody did chiropractor near me, they were only taking into account how close the person was to searching. So this is why it's important to be doing all the different things so that when these algorithm updates happen, that your traffic doesn't drop off of a cliff. So like your Google ad, like in terms of us, like our Google ad performance kind of kept that traffic steady. Eventually, like I think it was late December, early January when they kind of dialed it back, but it's still compared to what it was, in fall of 2021. Now it is much more geared towards how close people are. So again, you can't really control like where people are searching from, but you do want to show up when people are near you. So you're competing against the people that are very close to your practice. And then you also want to make sure that the Google ads are giving you a better chance of showing up when somebody may be on the other side of town. The third part is going to be the prominence. So this is going to be how well are you doing offline? How much are people searching for your name? How often are people clicking through to your website through social media? So Google has all these different signals that it has ways, the foot traffic in your office. So if it knows that your office is, let's say you see 700 people a week and every other office in town sees 70 people a week. Well, Google knows where everybody goes because it's tracking our phones. So if you're 10 times busier than every other office in town, that's going to be a really great prominence signal for you versus the other offices in town. Also, like how many links are you getting? How many other businesses are linking into you? How many, like I said, how many times are people searching for you online, or how often are they coming in from social media? So all these other things that you're doing, this is why you can't just focus on a single tactic that might be working right now. You have to focus on doing online marketing the right way so that everything is kind of working together, because all these signals are going back and forth between these platforms. So what you're doing over here on Facebook or on YouTube is still sending signals into Google to show that you're more prominent or relevant than somebody else in town. So these are the 3 things that Google itself says that it is deciding on who they show over someone else. So you should definitely listen to Google, if not me. So hopefully this was helpful, and we'll see you on the next one.